Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplifier. So today in this particular video we are going to explore one very popular AWS service, especially in containerization and serverless world, and that is AWS Batch. Okay, so first we will try to explore little bit theory and what are the different components related to this particular service, and then we will try to implement a simple project using which we'll be having practical idea around this particular service. Okay, so without any further delay, first let us try to understand what this service is all about. So AWS Batch is a fully managed service that enables you to run large scale compute workloads in the cloud without provisioning resources. Okay, so it is kind of a serverless service, you can think, where we can run our batch ETL workloads or machine learning workloads. For example, earlier we have already explored in detail about Lambda, right? It is one of the very popular serverless service which is fully managed by AWS itself. We can run our different Python jobs. But there are certain restriction or limitation of this particular service. For example, the Lambda can run maximum for 15 minutes as of now. Apart from that, with respect to size also, that is total size of the app, with respect to that point of view also, the Lambda is having certain restriction. Okay, but suppose you want to run your batch ETL workloads in a serverless manner in a fully managed service, then you cannot use Lambda because of this kind of restriction. But that time AWS Batch can help us, because it is also fully managed service, and AWS Batch we can run using EC2 or Fargate. And as I already discussed in my previous video while covering AWS ECS, that Fargate is nothing but a serverless service. So if we are using AWS Fargate for AWS Batch job, then it will be a serverless also, right? So this is the power of AWS Batch. There are some components on which we should have a clear idea before going with practical implementation. Now let us try to understand those from this particular diagram. Okay, so before understanding AWS Batch, you should have a clear idea on ECR, Elastic Container Registry, which is nothing but can be used to store our Docker images, right? So before that, you should have a fundamental idea around Docker. So the concepts around Docker, AWS Fargate, ECR, related to these I have already covered in my previous videos. The link I'll be sharing in the description box. I will suggest you to go through those concepts if you are already not aware of it, right? Now what we will try to do, first we will create a Docker image for our application. We will push that particular image in our ECR repository. Okay, so that particular part is denoted here. That is application image plus configurations are available in our Elastic Container Registry. We need to create certain IAM roles what our application will be using. For example, our application might need to interact with S3 or DynamoDB or any sort of other AWS services. That time, our AWS Batch job should have proper role to set up the communication or interaction with other AWS services. Okay, then we should have something called compute environment in AWS Batch. This compute environment can be EC2 or AWS Fargate. Apart from that, we will be having job queue. Here we can prioritize or queue our jobs, and based on the FIFO manner, the jobs will be submitted in our compute environment. Maybe its responsibility is writing the data in some S3 location, or maybe it can interact with DynamoDB or any sort of other services. It can send the data or read the data, etc. These kind of activities it can do. And obviously we can schedule our jobs, or we can say we can run our applications based on the Docker image whatever we have published in ECR in this compute environment based on a scheduler. Okay, so for batch scheduler you can use EventBridge. Using that we can easily integrate and schedule or orchestrate our batch jobs to run with a certain interval at a particular time in our compute environment. Okay, so what are the major components I discussed? Here let me write it. Number one is job definition. Okay, job definition we need to configure in ECR image, right? Then second point is job queue. In job queue basically we'll be using this for queuing and prioritizing our jobs in compute environment. Number three is compute environment. Apart from that, we need ECR. Okay, so these are the major things what we need to implement any project in AWS Batch, right? So let us try to understand one particular simple project flow, and then we will try to implement that same in AWS batch. Okay, so suppose I am having some sort of REST API, and that can be used to extract the current Bitcoin price. Okay, so here we will be having some Python code using request module. We will be basically making a GET request and we will extract current Bitcoin price, and that we will insert in DynamoDB. DDB. Okay, so this particular pipeline I have already discussed in my previous video while covering AWS Fargate in ECS, right, or Elastic Container Service. You can refer that particular video. I'll be referring that same code actually. Consider this as a batch job, and this we will try to run in AWS batch. Okay, right? So I hope what we are going to implement, that is clear to you. Now without any further delay, we will directly switch to AWS Management Console. So here I am currently in my AWS Management Console. So first what we need to do, as I told you, that AWS batch runs some container. That container definition we will be defining in job definition component of AWS batch, right? So for that we need to create an image first. That image will run this particular pipeline. So first we will launch one EC2 machine where we will install Docker, and we will write our code, and there we will build that image, and then we will push that image in ECR, and after that we will start our batch AWS service. Okay, so here first I am going to launch one EC2 machine. So click on launch instance, and then here I can give Docker demo YT, cool, and here Linux machine I'll choose this particular AMI. I am going to refer for this particular demo. The instance type T2 microfine, and then here I will choose one existing key pair. If you are not having any key pair, you can basically create one key pair. That is not a big deal. So here let's wait for few seconds till our EC2 instance become up and running. So here you can see currently it is in pending state. Till then, to avoid any security issue or firewall related stuffs, I will just edit the inbound rule, and I will make sure that all traffic from anywhere it is allowing. Okay, when you are working in production system, that time you can fine tune this networking and access related stuffs. Let's first try to understand AWS batch without focusing on those things in detail. Okay, so here this is my public IP. I will use PuTTY to do SSH in this particular server, and here I will choose my SSH key. Yes, and then login as EC2 user. Okay, to avoid any timeout, I will change this particular setting, connection setting, to 10 seconds, and I'll apply this. Okay, first step is done. Now here what we have done earlier, I am referring that same file what I shared in my previous video to install Docker in EC2. So first we need to update if anything is not updated, and then as part of the next step we are going to install Docker. So it is done. Now here I am installing Docker. Then as part of the next step, we will start our Docker service. So Docker installation is complete. Now we'll start it, and apart from that we need to give the proper access or permission. That also will do. That is done. Now as part of the next step, we are going to create this directory. I am going through these steps quickly because already in my previous video I have discussed, it might appear repetitive. Now we will create our Docker file first. I'll go to insert mode, and then here I will copy this complete code. Here what it is doing, we are taking Python 3.8 as base image, copying everything from my current directory to the app folder within Docker, and we are defining that app folder as working directory. We are installing everything from requirements.txt, and then when our container will be up and running, we will run python app.py. Okay, so here that is done, and then here I will do write and quit. So our Docker file is ready. Then as part of the next step, here we are going to create our main application, which is going to read the current Bitcoin price from a REST API, and it will insert in DynamoDB. Here if you see this code, the DynamoDB table name should be Bitcoin price storer. So let me just create that particular DynamoDB table beforehand. So here I'll search for DynamoDB. And here I'll click on create table. So this is the table name, and apart from that we should be having some primary key in the DynamoDB table. So in our previous video we have configured UUID or unique ID as primary key of this table. So here I will choose string, that is fine, and without any other changes I will simply create this particular table. Okay, right? So here what we are doing, first we are making a GET request to this particular API endpoint. We are taking the JSON data, we are taking some specific key, and here we are calling put item to DynamoDB, this particular function, to insert DynamoDB data. Okay, and here if you see this function, it is just calling put item API to insert the item in this table, right? So here what I will do, I will do vi app.py. So here I have already done that, and now here I will copy this particular code. Up to main I will copy, and here I will paste that, and I will write and quit. Okay, our app is created. Now we need to create the requirements.txt file. So here I will do vi requirements.txt. 2 times vi came, I'll just remove once, and then here I will go to insert mode, and here I will put all the necessary Python modules, whatever is needed to run this particular application. So that is done. Write and quit. So currently in our directory app.py, docker file and requirements.txt are available. Okay, now we will create the Docker image. Before that we need to restart this kernel. So I will close this one, and I will do SSH again in this same server. So here I will go to SSH, and authentication I will choose. The key pair file I will take, and I'll open this and login as default login ID is EC2 user, that I will do. And then here if I do ls, we need to go to the directory where we have created all the files, and if I do ls, here our files are available. Now we can easily build our Docker image, docker build -t welcome app dot. Okay, so let it create the image. By that time what we will do, we will test this particular image by running it as a container in EC2 machine itself once before deploying it in AWS batch. Okay, now to run that, here if you see, this particular EC2 machine is connecting with DynamoDB, so proper role has to be present. So here I will open AWS Management Console in a new tab, and I will go to IAM section, and I will create a new role to run this particular code. Okay, so here I will go to roles section, create role, and as service I can choose EC2, and then I can click on next, and here I can first search DynamoDB. Full access as of now I am giving. Apart from that, from this EC2 machine, when our code will start running properly, we need to push that image to ECR also. So that ECR role also we need to give. Okay, this particular one, we'll give that, and we'll click on next. Role name EC2 ECR demo YT batch. Okay, I will copy this particular role name, and here I will click on create role, right? And here I'll go to action and security, modify IAM role. Here I will choose our IAM role, that is this one, just now whatever we have created, and we'll update the IAM role. Okay, so let's see. Here you can see our image is created. We can simply execute docker image ls, and here you can see our welcome app image is ready, right? Now what we will do, we will run our image as a container. So for that we need to simply execute docker run welcome app. Before that, here we can see our DynamoDB table, how many rows are there. Let's inspect, explore table items, and here you can see currently there is no data in it. So we will run our Docker image as container, and ideally if everything goes correctly, then we should be having one row inserted in DynamoDB table. So I will just run it, and here you can see data transfer complete. This particular row is added in DynamoDB. Let's go to the console and refresh, and here you can see one particular item is added in our DynamoDB table. That means our Docker image whatever we have built is perfectly working. Now what we will do, we will push this particular application in ECR, because to run any program in AWS batch we should be providing the job definition where we can refer the image whatever is present in ECR, right? So first what we will do, we will create our ECR image. So here EC2 console is no longer needed. I can directly go to ECR, and here I can click on a private repository, create repository, demo yt batch job. Here I will create this particular private repo, and here if you click on this particular repository, here you will be getting the push commands. So this we need to execute. So first we will do login, and then as part of the next step we will again execute this build command once, and it is done. And then here we will be doing proper tagging, and then as part of the last step we will push our this particular image to AWS ECR. Okay, it is going to take few seconds. Let's wait for that. Till then here I can go inside this repository to see whether the image is pushed or not. Here you can see it is not yet pushed because here the image push operation is continue phase. Now here let me open AWS batch in a new console, and we will try to run that same image in AWS batch. Okay, so here we will go to batch, and here as I told you, first we need to create a compute environment where our batch job will run. Currently no compute environment is there, we will simply create one. So because I want to run my batch job in serverless manner, I am choosing Fargate. Name I can give demo yt cluster 123 batch job. Okay, service role let it be as it is. Click on next. I want to use Fargate Spot. Okay, it is basically allow you to run interruption tolerance batch jobs up to 70% discount. So it is trying to say that your bill will be very less, but it might happen that your job might get interrupted. That's the default property of Spot instance, right? Because this is a POC, I am choosing Fargate Spot capacity. What is the maximum number of virtual CPU we can allocate to this particular compute environment, that we need to choose. Here I can choose maximum vCPU as 1 because our job is very simple job, and I can click on next. We need to provide proper networking policies. I am keeping this default, and then I can click on next, and here without any other changes we will create our compute environment. Okay, so here you can see it is in creating phase. So ECR image push is happening. Let's see. So here image is pushed. Here I will just refresh, and here you can see our latest image is available. So whatever we have discussed in theory, the ECR image push is done. Compute environment is creating phase. Now we will create the job queue. Okay, so here let's refresh, and here you can see our compute environment is ready. So now here what we will do, we will create our job queue. So in the job queue I will go to the create phase, and here I will choose Fargate only because our compute environment is of Fargate type. The name I will give demo yt AWS batch, and the priority we need to configure. So in different queues you can prioritize your different jobs. So here I am keeping priority as 1 only. Scheduling policies, connect compute environment, here I can choose that scheduling policy, we can keep nothing chosen. And here whatever compute environment we have created, this job queue we will tag with our that particular compute environment. Okay, and then here we will create the job queue. So here you can see our job queue is ready. So with this our ECR step is done, compute environment step is done, job queue step is done, and now we need to create the job definition based on the ECR image. Okay, so here what we will do, we will go to job definition, and here I will click on create a job definition, and name I can give DynamoDB demo yt batch. Okay, execution timeout. So what it is nothing but the time duration after which batch terminates unfinished jobs. Okay, so maybe for example your job should run for 2 minutes, for some reason it is taking 2 hours, then it should not run for unlimited time, right? We should be configuring some value after which the batch should stop those unfinished jobs. So here in this case I can consider, because my job is a very simple job, I can consider execution timeout as 120 seconds or 2 minutes, right? Scheduling priority I no need to choose, because in the job queue here already we have configured the priority as 1. The Fargate platform we can choose latest, and Linux machine we can choose CPU, let it be default. Assign public IP, so this we need to enable. Why? Because here if you see that job definition we are configuring based on the image. Now once we will try to run our job in the batch compute environment, that time this particular job in the backend will pull image from ECR, so that internet connectivity should happen. So either you can use NAT gateway if you are working in private subnet in a secured manner, or if you are working in public, then you have to assign public IP, so that it will be facing no problem in pulling that particular image from ECR. Okay, so here I am assigning the IP. ephemeral storage no need to configure anything. So here in the next option we need to configure the execution role. Okay, now whatever AWS batch job is running, that in the backend use the concept of ECS task and all this. So here the execution role, what it will do, the task execution role grants the Amazon ECS agent permission to make AWS API call on your behalf. Okay, so that role we need to create. So for that I will open AWS management console in a new tab, and I will go to IAM, and here I will click on roles, and here I will click on create role, and here I will search ECS or Elastic Container Service, and then here I will choose the third option, that is task role we need to create, and then here I will search for ECS, and here ECS task execution role policy, this one I'll be providing. Okay, click on next, role name batch ECS task demo YT. Okay, so this particular role I'll create. So here execution role I will maybe refresh, and then here I'll search for it. So this particular one, right, whatever role we have created, batch ECS task demo YT, yeah, so that one we are choosing. And then here job attempts, how many times our batch job will attempt to run that particular job, whatever we are running, that should be 1. And then here I'll click on next, and then here image we need to provide. So here this is our image, I will copy the URI, and then here I will paste that image here in. The command what we want to run, that we need to configure. So here if you see, when we build this particular Docker image, that time here itself we have given this particular command, right? So it is not like this one alone our batch job can execute. You can override this particular command in this particular place, and batch job will run that particular command only. So here I don't want to run some other command, I want to run this app.py only. So I will just update that. Okay, command is done. And then here job role. So job role is nothing but when your code is running, that time it might need to interact with different AWS services. So that particular role we need to grant. So here in this role only, whatever we have provided for ECS task, there I will add the DynamoDB access, so that same role we can use to run our job role. Okay, so here attach policy, and here I will search for DynamoDB full access I'll be providing, and add the permission. Okay, right, and I'll copy this particular one, and here in job role I will search for it. Maybe I'll refresh, and this particular one, batch ECS task demo YT, right, whatever we have created. And vCPU, virtual CPU, how much needed? For my job is very small, so I am keeping 0.25. Memory 2 GB is not at all needed. I am just decreasing that particular configuration. I am clicking on next. User, if we need we can configure, or else we can ignore. Log driver, so whatever logs our job will be generating, that we need to check sometime if the job fails and all these things. So I will check on AWS logs, and I will click on next, and then here without any other changes I will create our job definition. So with this our job definition is also ready. So ECR, compute environment, job queue, job definition, all these steps are done, and now it's time to run our job in AWS batch. Okay, so for that what I will do, I will open AWS batch in a new console, and then here I will go to jobs section, As of now, I am showing you to run the job manually. Later, we can run this particular job in scheduled manner using event bridge and all these things. I will show you later. Okay. So submit the new job. Name I can give demo YT batch test. Job definition. So in our case, what is the job definition we have created? That is DynamoDB demo YT batch. So that I am going to choose DynamoDB demo YT batch. The job queue we need to choose whatever we have created, right? And then I can click on next. The job attempt I can give 1, that is fine. Execution timeout I can configure 120, right? Container override, so already in the job definition we have given, so no need to put anything here. The vCPU I can choose again here specifically if needed. Click on next, and then here we can submit our job in this particular AWS batch cluster. So currently it is in submitting phase. As of now, earlier we have seen that we are only having one record in the DynamoDB table, and if this particular batch job runs successfully in a serverless manner using AWS Fargate, we should see one more entry in this particular DynamoDB table. Okay. So let's refresh and wait for few seconds. So here still it is in starting phase. In the back end, this particular job is basically pulling that image from ECR and running the container. That's why it is taking some time. And here you can see currently it is in running state. As soon as our batch job went to running state, here you can see one log stream created. Okay, basically using this we can inspect the code progress in AWS CloudWatch. Okay, that I will show you later. First let it run, and here you can see our batch job is succeeded. Okay, if you want you can go to the log stream, and here you will able to see the CloudWatch logs. So here you can see data transfer completed, this particular row added in DynamoDB. So let's go to DynamoDB. Earlier the last record was inserted as 11:51 AM. Currently it is 12:06 PM, so one more entry should be there with this particular timestamp. And here you can see beautifully the current Bitcoin price at 12:05 PM. This particular row is inserted from AWS batch. Okay, so I hope you understood how to run batch job, right? And here you can see in this particular console also. So first here you need to choose that particular job queue for which whatever job ran that you want to inspect. So here you can see one job is succeeded. If you want to submit another time that same job, just click on this and click on clone job. It is just like cloning AWS step in EMR cluster, and here I will click on create job. Okay, so another time we have submitted. Here if I search for job queue, here you can see this particular new container is in runnable phase. So again we need to wait for a few seconds. Here you can see the status is changed to starting, and soon it will be in running state, and then it will go to success or failure state. Okay, if it success, then in DynamoDB instead of 2 we should see 3 records in it. Okay, so let's wait for a few seconds. So here you can see our job status changed to running, and if we wait for a few more seconds it will change to success. And here our job status changed to succeeded. If I go to DynamoDB and refresh this particular table, here you will see 3 records are there. Currently it is 12:09 PM, and here you can see that at 12:08 PM 27 second one row got inserted. This is inserted by our latest job run, right? So once our compute environment is ready, we need to configure the job queue, where the job, whatever jobs we are submitting, first it will be going to job queue. Okay, and from that job queue the AWS batch service will pick up that particular job based on the availability of the compute environment, and it will run our job. So once we create our job definition, we can easily run our job in a scheduled manner. As of now I ran the job manually, but we can automate this particular process using Event Bridge. So I hope the fundamental concept of batch and its components are clear to you, and we will catch up in the next section to understand how to schedule the AWS batch job using Amazon Event Bridge. Stay tuned. So now in this particular second section of our discussion, we are going to explore how to schedule our batch job runs using Event Bridge. Okay, and to implement this particular automation process, we are going to follow this particular documentation. Okay, so the architecture is pretty much simple. If you consider this, let's focus on as of now only in this particular part. So already we are having our image registered in ECR, and we have configured the batch compute environment, job queue and job definition. All these things are ready. Now we need to schedule this particular job definition with some certain time interval or based on some corn expression. Okay, So that time we can easily set up the integration between EventBridge and batch, and we can run our batch job with certain time interval. How to do that we are going to explore in this particular section of the video. Okay, so if you recall our previous section, here we have already created a compute environment. We have already created a job queue, that is demo YT AWS batch, and job definition is also ready, which is available here, DDB demo YT batch. Okay, and whatever DynamoDB data we have ingested in our earlier discussion, that I have cleared out to show you a fresh demo. Okay, so here what I will do, I'll open AWS Management Console in a new tab, and I will search for EventBridge. Okay, click on this, and then here we are trying to schedule our batch job, right? So I will go for schedule option. And then here, as of now, if you see, currently in our this particular account there is no scheduler available. I will simply click on create schedule. Okay, demo YT batch EventBridge, some name I have given. If you want, you can give the description also. Schedule group, let it be default, not a problem. I don't want to set up one-time schedule, but rather I want a recurring schedule, and it should be rate based. If you want to run your job based on certain day or month of the day, then you can opt for corn. As of now, just to show you a simple demo, I want to run my job in every 2 minutes, so I have chosen that. Flexible time window, I am keeping it off, and then I am clicking on next, and then here I need to search the EventBridge target as batch job, right? So here I am getting the option of all API, and here I will search for batch. Here we are getting this particular option, and here we need to find out that particular option using which we can submit a job in our existing compute environment, and that is basically nothing but this one. Okay, as soon as you are clicking on that, here this JSON input you need to configure. Okay, job definition. So in our case, job definition is this one. I will copy this ARN, and then here I will update here. Okay, job name demo YT batch from EventBridge. This name I have given, and this job we should start under which queue, that also we need to configure. So in our case, we are having this particular queue. I'll copy this particular ARN, and here I will go back to my EventBridge and I will paste that. Okay, so with this we have configured what job the EventBridge should submit to the compute environment. Okay, now I will click on next, enable schedule, enable. After schedule completion, I don't want to change this. I want to make sure that every 2 minutes this job runs, so I am choosing none. Retry attempt, I will enable this one, and encryption not needed. Now we need to create a permission. To create a new permission, here I will go to IAM Management Console, and then here I will click on create role. Okay, so how to create EventBridge role such that it can trigger AWS batch? For that, here this is the documentation what we can follow. Okay, so first we need to provide this one. So I'll just go to my roles section, and here custom trust policy I need to choose, and I can just paste as it is this one. But one small change we have to implement. This is not using direct EventBridge, but rather it is using schedule. So instead of events, I will write schedule. Okay, scheduler. So scheduler.amazonaws.com. Rest you can keep as it is, and then I can click on next, and then here the target is batch, right? So that batch permission I need to provide. As of now I am providing full access, and then role name demo YT EventBridge batch, some name I have given, and then here I will click on create role. So here role is created. Now here I'll refresh this and I'll search that role. This is the one, and then I'll click on next, and then here I'll click on create schedule. So here our scheduler is ready. Now here if you see, let's go to the job section. This is the job queue what we have selected. Currently no job is submitted, all jobs are showing succeeded state, whatever we ran earlier. Now here we should see some jobs coming up within 2 minutes based on the EventBridge trigger. Okay, so here EventBridge we have configured, and if you see the target part, the job name we have given demo YT batch from EventBridge. So with this name in this particular console, we should see the jobs getting triggered from EventBridge automatically. And here if you see, the demo YT batch from EventBridge came and it is in starting phase. Soon it will be in running phase, and from there it will go to success, and then we will able to see one new entry in this DynamoDB table. Currently it is empty, so let's wait for few seconds. So here now the status is changed to running status. Let's wait for few more seconds. And here the job status is now succeeded. Okay, so with this in our DynamoDB, here we should able to see one row. So here if you see, currently it is 4:28 PM and 4:27 PM 26 second. We got a entry in this DynamoDB table which is containing basically the information about the current Bitcoin price. Okay, now if we wait for few more seconds, here you will see another job within 2 minutes should be submitted by EventBridge automatically. And here you can see the job is in starting state. Like that way, in each 2-minute interval, the EventBridge will automatically start our batch job. So this is how you can automate this process. In our section 1, basically we configured all the important sections like compute environment, job queue, job definition, and we submitted the jobs manually in our job queue and then to cluster. But this is the automated way how in our real production level projects we can do. That is, automation of process can be done easily using EventBridge. And here now the job is running. And it is succeeded. So in our DynamoDB, automatically one more row should be inserted. Let's see. And here if you see, at 4:29 PM, that is just now, one more row got inserted. Earlier one was 4:27, now it is at 4:29. So at each 2-minute interval, one new row will be appended in our this DynamoDB table based on this EventBridge configuration, right? So I hope you understood this particular section, that how to automatically trigger our AWS batch job using EventBridge. And in our next section, we are going to explore if suppose for some reason the batch job fails, and that event we want to capture and send an alert to the developer team or admin team so that they can come and inspect that pipeline, why the pipeline failed. Okay, so how to implement that particular automated alert functionality, that we are going to explore in our next section. Stay tuned.